At the end of allotment lane, stood on the main road, was the man in black. He looked like he was waiting for a lift. As I continued along allotment lane and onto the footpath, as got to the next gate near the bench, I passed male with dog, who was walking in the direction of allotment lane. I would describe him as being in his 70s, tall with white hair, and a dog with a small type terrier. He sees him a lot whilst walking the dog, and he lives in St Michael's. Straight after the gate, I turned directly left and made my way around the outside of the field in a loop, making my way back to the riverbank. I got to the brick building. This is about 500 metres from the bench. At this point, I noticed Nicola at the other side of the field. My dog went to run up to hers, but I was in a rush, so I shouted my dog to come back. He didn't speak to Nicola because she was too far away to do so, and based on the length of my walk, I believe I would have seen her sometime between 9:10 and 9:20 a.m. I could see that she had her phone out in front of her, looking at the screen, which I've seen her do on previous walks. I could not hear or see if she was talking as she was too far away.
Again, there have been questions raised about her phone, whether that would have been in her possession when whatever happened has happened. But again, I'd just like to point her out that it's really normal for Nicola, when in a Teams call, to be holding her phone out in front of her, listening to it. And we can say from a witness that knows her that morning, that is what she was doing.
As I continued to the very first gate at the end of allotment lane, I passed a female with dog, said a brief hi, and this is the lady that is there most days and seems to just stand talking to people and didn't appear to go into the field. He would describe that the female, being in her 70s with a larger build, and would describe her as a grandma type, as she has a white dog of the size of a Springer Spaniel. She appeared on the local news on Monday, the 30th of January. As I got to the end of allotment lane, man in black was still there. I thought this was strange, as I hadn't seen him the day before and had obviously been stood there for quite some time. He looked at me and said hi, and I just said hi back and carried on. He then dropped his dog off at home, got into his work van and drove past, and the man in black had gone. Once I found out Nicola had gone missing, I was thinking about the day some more, and on Monday I remembered about the man in black and thought I would tell the police, as this could be useful. The man in black was dressed all in black. It looked like he had black jeans, possibly a hoodie or short bomber type jacket, and I think he was wearing a beanie hat. He had a round face, and I wouldn't describe him as fat, but he was more stocky. He was 6'1", about 45 years old, and described Nicola. He would describe Nicola as younger than him, smaller in height, and she always wears a hat in winter. She was too far away from him that day to describe what clothing she was wearing. He's seen pictures of Nikki around on posters around the village, and confirms that this is the same person. So that's Richard Fife. He was obviously at the inquest. He just had his statement that he made on the 1st of February read out.
But I'd rung 999 on the way because I obviously knew something was wrong. So the police rang me then while I was at the bench and said, "Look, you've got to get home because the police are going to be coming to your house. We need somebody at your house. You get home, the police are on the way there." So I'd rung the police at like I think about 10 to 11, and they were there. Like they got there at 25 past, so they were there, you know, really quick.
Checking that area where the dog was found wandering. And this afternoon, the lady who found the dog, who's been talking, she says that she recognised the dog and she called the police immediately. Then she found the phone as well. So the police were looped in extremely quickly in this situation. And